Today's question is, do you think there is anything more to the passage in Joshua 10:12-15? The NASB says, the sun stood still and the moon stopped until the nation avenged themselves of their enemies. The sun stopped in the middle of the sky and did not hasten to go down for about a whole day. I've heard everything from this being a solar eclipse to scientists at NASA discovering a quote unquote lost day. Appreciate your thoughts. All right, Dr. E, what are your thoughts?
This is a fascinating question because she's right. NASA has done some research on this. Well, let's say folks that have been associated with NASA, let's be careful here. And I did look online to see what sort of the current trends were and what so-called scholars were saying about this. You can find a number of studies to argue a literal sun stood still. There's a theory growing around that there's a missing day in the calendars. I mean, there's all sorts of interesting stuff. We've talked about it before, but not recently. Bible.org is a great place to go because I can't do everything in 10 minutes. But there's some really good stuff on Bible.org about this specific passage. Let's say a number of things. Let's talk about natural versus supernatural for a minute, because behind this question, to me, this is the real issue. Natural being something occurring in nature that's repeatable and observable. So we can watch the stars go, night, sun up and down. We can chronicle that. We can see Earth's rotation, how that affects what we see, seasons, etc. Natural, repeatable. Supernatural, meaning above nature. It's inexplicable to observation and repetition. So whenever we talk about a miracle, we're talking about something supernatural, above nature. Science has become a god, little g. We saw this during the pandemic. Don't argue with the science. The problem is 10 scientists might have 8 opinions. Who's the one saying science is perfect and immutable?
And it changes. Even if everyone agrees on something today, we could have new research in 2 years that shows, I think about
100%.
Nutrition, yeah. It's like, it's always changing. Butter's bad for you. It's good for you. Coffee gives you cancer. It cures you of cancer.
Yep.
It's like...
Bingo. There was a guy in Australia that had a certain ulcer condition. It was a strain of bacteria, and he found an antibiotic, and he said 2 weeks of this cures it. No one would believe him. It took him years to get the medical community, clinical trials, they wouldn't change their way. Anyway, I'm off. Let's go back to it. So natural versus supernatural, above nature. Now, let's think about any of Jesus' miracles. Water to wine, stopping a storm, instantly healing someone, creating new eyes for a congenitally blind man in John chapter 9, raising Lazarus from the dead, raising himself from the dead. Every one of these miracles breaks the laws of physics, biology, time, maybe we could even say chemistry. Let's just take water to wine. Instantaneously turning water into a fermented grape product that they said was the best wine, which we would say that meant it was aged and it was, had been around. It wasn't like grape juice that just came out of the vineyard, which is often taught. Best wine meant it had aged and was mellow and wonderful, and they will. So point being, chemically he changed water to wine. Bacteria cannot ferment at any rate instantaneously. So he broke all the laws of nature. And you could apply that to creation of a new set of eyes when he spits and makes mud, which is a direct reference to the creation, making that dirt man Adam. He's making mud, puts it on this blind person's eyes who's congenitally blind, and he washes, and the water I think is a metaphor as well, and he sees. He's got a new pair of eyeballs. Everything he did in a miraculous way broke what we would call the laws of repeatable, observable science, physics, and chemistry. So when you look at a literal day, and I happen to be a 6-day earth creation guy. I know people, think I'm an idiot. That's okay. I'm going to lean on what the text says. I think God can handle the appearance of age. I think when he made the earth in 6 literal days and he creates Adam, a literal human being, and Eve from his rib and bone and flesh, God can make the storm stop, water to wine, create something from nothing. He can handle what looks like a day and being stopped. Maybe it literally happened. Maybe he stopped it all. Oh, the earth would burn and be destroyed. Not if he's God. Maybe it was the appearance of. Maybe it was a secondary source. But the ancient writer explained it in a certain way that makes us scratch our head. goes back to, I mean, I was thinking of the axe floating, when Elisha, I mean, all these miracles defy natural explanation. So I've made the point. The sovereign creator, sustainer of the universe, does things that break our laws of physics, our laws of observable, repeatable facts, which is a good thing. It's not a bad thing, but supernatural, i.e. above nature. And I think God can handle that with not even a care in the universe. We're the ones that struggle with, what this means and how it applies.